Hello everyone. So welcome to this new reformed and transformed course actually of daily analysis of the Hindu. So we won't be covering any editorials of the Hindu in this one, this particular lessons, because we're already making a separate editorial lesson from the Hindu, covering articles from the Hindu, Indian Express and Live Mint as well. So today is 2nd January 2017. This video lesson will be presented to you by me, Dipanshu Singh. So in case you want to read more about me, you can go through this slide, and if you wish to, you can also follow me in Academy on this link to get updates on my courses and on my videos. And if you think that these courses have been beneficial for you, and if you really like them, you can give us good ratings. You can give us 5 stars and do review the course. Let us know what you think about it and recommend it to your friends as well. So the first page news, including the foreign page and the national page news, we'll cover that. So first one is regarding the cold wave which is sweeping North India. So not much information there, but then obviously UPSC has a knack of framing questions from these topics, which we generally tend to ignore. So what is a cold wave actually? So this can be a question in your GS1 paper, otherwise from your prelims question as well. So when there's a rapid fall in temperature within 24 hours to a level requiring substantially increased production to agriculture, industry, commerce and social activities, and there are basically 2 criteria when normal temperature, minimum temperature is equal to 10 degrees or more. Cold wave departure from normal is -5 to -6 degrees centigrade, and severe cold wave departure is from normal is -7 degrees or less. And the other criteria is when normal temperature is less than 10 degrees, so the cold wave departure is generally from normal -4 to 5, and severe cold wave departure is from normal is to 6 degrees or less. So I know this is a little confusing, but then these are the criteria which we have to follow when we declare the cold wave. So we need to be aware of this. This is similar to what when we declare droughts in India. So there are certain criteria about it. So do remember them. And as we covered previously as well about an extra second being added to this year's clock, obviously due to effects of rotation of Earth, the atomic clock, and managing of aligning the normal and UTC clocks as well. So a leap second has been added to Indian clock by the National Physical Laboratory, which is the National Meteorology Institute of India, and a premier research laboratory in the field of physical sciences. So we need to know about the background of these institutes as well, because UPSC keeps on asking questions like these. So it was actually conceptualized in 1943 by the governing body of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR, with a view to pave way for using science and technology as a means of industrial growth and development, as well as to give fillip to the fledgling Indian industry as well. So the next a bit of information is very important. It's about the news related to Election Commission of India. The first one is regarding the Punjab Assembly polls. It's related to e-governance and the use of a mobile app. So the Election Commission, which will actually introduce a mobile app-based system to monitor the law and order situations during the Punjab Assembly elections. And this will also enable the poll officials to feed real-time information also there will be a data on polling, and even the complaints will be accessed and received by the EC will be dealt online with this app. So very good initiative as part of e-governance. And the other one is regarding the ongoing tussle between the Samajwadi Party. There are 2 factions now, and there is a question pertaining to it that who will retain the official election symbol of the party, that is the bicycle rather. So the final decision on this is obviously with the Election Commission, which will be binding on all the groups, conceived as a direction to the returning officer. But it will take a long drawn process of the rules of majority and numerical strength envisaged in paragraph 15 of the election symbols, Reservation and Allotment Order of 1968. So there was a very famous case, Sadiq Ali versus Election Commission of India, regarding the similar issue during a split of the Congress between Indian National Congress, between Congress O and Congress J, which was given, a verdict was given in 1972. Obviously, Election Commission has to decide on this. So they will decide on the numerical strength of whichever faction represents the party. So they will decide which faction will retain the official election symbol. Obviously, you need to go through your Lakshmikant's concept about political parties and which all symbols and how they are allotted. And obviously, recognized state and national parties are given this privilege of getting these symbols, and the rest of the parties and independent candidates actually get to choose from the free lot to decide the election symbols. The other one is regarding the drug discovery for the protein coupled receptors, which are very important for our body, central to almost every physiological processes such as vision, taste, immune response. So there is a discovery about the drug that binds to G protein in IIT Kanpur. So important information about science and technology there. The other are the international news. So Pakistan was obviously will support and has supported Chinese bloc on the Masood Azhar resolution, which was favored by India, and it said that India's proposal is actually politically motivated. So this 126.7 committee will go in the background of this one. Was actually established pursuant to resolution 1999. It is also known as the Al-Qaeda and Taliban Sanctions Committee. So it was established for the purpose of actually overseeing the implementation of these sanctions, obviously to designate terrorists and to stop their funding and financial penalties and freeze their assets as well. And there have been two separate news about Turkey, obviously about the terrorist attack in the nightclub on 31st of December, and the other is about the Democratic Republic of Congo. But the important thing is that we'll cover certain sections of the geography of that area from which generally UPSC keeps asking questions. So there was a question regarding Turkey as well previously, which two water bodies surround it. So obviously there's Mediterranean Sea and Black Sea. So you also need to be aware about which all countries are surrounded and border Black Sea. There's Ukraine, obviously Crimea is over here, and European part of Russia, Georgia, and Bulgaria. And in Turkey, if you see, there's Istanbul over here on the Strait, Bosphorus Strait, and on the Sea of Marmara. And there's the agency, and there's the Dardanelles Strait, which is very important as well. So straits and these bodies are very important. Cyprus is over here. There was a question regarding also which part of the country has an opening towards the Mediterranean Sea. Obviously, that question was regarding Jordan. So these all areas eventually are important, and even Turkey shares its border with Iran as well. Lake One is over here, and other part about is about Africa and African nations, which are anyway important for UPSC exams. So today's we'll cover about Democratic Republic of Congo because this was in news today. So they also have a small opening in Atlantic Ocean, and the important thing is that the Congo rivers is cut by equator, which passes through the country. And the other thing is about Lake Tanganyika, which is very important as well. Do read about this lake and let me know in the comment section below what you read about it. Very important lake, and otherwise you need to be aware about the neighboring countries: Congo, Angola, Zambia, Tanzania, South Sudan, Central African Republic as well. So African nations anyway are important for UPSC. And business related news. So the Confederation of Indian Industry has said that there's an opportunity to cut the corporate tax to the level of 18%, obviously to increase the tax compliance and increase the revenue of government. Because going by the experience of the Lafayette curve, you can see this is here is the Lafayette curve, which says the government's revenue increase up to a certain period of a certain tax rate, but we need to find this optimal tax rate where the revenue is maximum. Post that, if you go on increasing the tax rate, your revenues will decrease. So we need to optimally, design. It's the responsibility of the government, and actually it's a challenge for the government to finally decide on the tax rate, optimal tax rate, which will give them the maximum revenue. And loans will become cheaper as the SBI has slashed its rate. This is obviously as per the MCLR, which is effective from January 1. So MCLR was introduced by RBI when it found that whenever there's a change, whenever they cut their rates, the benefits of it are not passed on to the end consumer and people. So the MCLR was introduced. There was a question on this as well last year prelims as well, and includes marginal cost of funds, operational cost of banks, negative carry in maintaining CRR and TNR premium. So these are the four factors which contributes to its making. So need to be aware of that. And central government has actually permitted 12 PSU banks to raise rupees 3,000 crores. Obviously to boost and in a bit to strengthen their capital base of public sector banks. And there was already a balance sheet problem and NPA issue going on. And demonetization has actually altered the economy's recovery path, because economy was already growing very well. The monsoons were good. There was a boost in agricultural growth, but then demonetization happened, and it sucked out the liquidity from the system. Not exactly from the system, but there was obviously a shortfall of cash. The demand went low. There was no money with people to spend on, and rural demand actually suffered. It hurt the private consumption, impacted real estate sector, FMG sector as well. But surprisingly, there was an improvement in the airline sector, obviously because of the benefit of use of digital transactions, which generally very well affluent people use. And and it came at a time when the spending cycle for the fiscal year was stating healthy. Obviously, we have the post-monsoon. So this is it for today, guys. Let me know what you think of the new course, a separate editorial video and a separate editor and a video on the Hindu analysis. And we'll be covering like this from now onwards. So do rate, review and recommend the course. So till next video, I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much.